Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, today we are going to talk about the biodiversity hotspots. A biodiversity hotspot is a biogeographic region that is both a significant reservoir of biodiversity and is threatened with destruction. Or you can say a biodiversity hotspot is an area that is rich in biodiversity and at the same time is under threat. These hotspots are the richest but most threatened reservoirs of plant and animal life of the earth. These hotspots have a maximum number of endemic species. Endemic species are those plants and animals that exist only in one geographic region. You can call it as local species, or sometimes you can call it as a native species, or you can call it as an indigenous species. For example, we have hangul. All right, so hangul is actually it's endemic to Kashmir, so you cannot find hangul elsewhere, anywhere else in the world. So these hotspots have the maximum number of such species. So the areas serving as the richest spots of biodiversity are termed as biodiversity hotspots. So this concept was first given by a British biologist, Norman Myers, in the year 1988. These hotspots are home to unique flora and fauna. Most of them are endemic to that particular environment. So I have put an image of Western Ghats. That's one of the biodiversity hotspots of India. So the species that you'll find in Western Ghats, most of them are endemic to Western Ghats. That means those species, you'll not be able to find them anywhere else in the world. For a region to be called as a hotspot, it must fulfill two important criteria. First criteria is that this region or this place should comprise of at least 1500 species of vascular plants. That is 0.5% of the world's total plants. So that means a region that contains at least 1500 species of the endemic plants. That means those plants that are not found anywhere else in the world. That place can be called as a hotspot. And second criteria is that this place should have lost at least 70% of its original habitat. Alright, so if a place or a region fulfills these two criteria, that place or region can be called as a hotspot. In 1999, Conservation International identified some 25 biodiversity hotspots, and in 2005 9 more hotspots were added, so making it a total of 34 hotspots. In 2011, the forests of East Australia region was identified as the 35th biodiversity hotspot. So on our earth we have some 35 areas that qualify as hotspots. So these hotspots once covered 15.7% of the earth's land surface. Today we see, or we witness the fact that 86% of these hotspots have been destroyed, and the remaining hotspots now occupy only 2.3% of the earth's surface. That means we have lost nearly 13% of these biodiversity hotspots. So the reason behind this is like we have couple of reasons, like pollution is there, like we have environmental degradation, we have habitat destruction, poaching, climate change, etc. These hotspots support more than half of the world's plant species as endemics. So these hotspots contain more than half of world's endemic plant species and 43% endemic species of birds, mammals, reptiles and amphibians. Look at this map here. These areas, these areas that are red, like you see here, these are the areas like where you find biodiversity hotspots. So this is the distribution of hotspots across the globe. This is Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, South America, North America. Like these are the 35 hotspots that are present in the world. For example, we have Madagascar, Brazil, West Ecuador, West Amazon, Malaysia, East Himalayas, etc. So out of the 35 hotspots, that are present in the world, India has four hotspots. So four hotspots are present in India. That is Himalayas. This is one of the hotspots of India. Then we have Western Ghats. Western Ghats, are present over the west coast of India, and they occupy an area of 1600 kilometers. We have Indo-Burma region, or northeast India. Then we have Sundaland, or it includes Nicobar group of islands. So these are the four hotspots of India. So Western Ghats, like you will find deciduous as well as rainforests in Western Ghats. Around 77% of the amphibians and 62% of the reptiles that are found in Western Ghats cannot be spotted elsewhere in the world. So that means 77% of the amphibians and 62% of the reptiles are endemic to the Western Ghats. So you will find more than 6,000 vascular plants here. Some species like lion-tailed macaque, Nilgiri, Thar, Asiatic lion, Malabar gliding frog. These are some of the examples of the endemic species that are present only in Western Ghats. This is lion-tailed macaque. This is a Nilgiri Thar, Asiatic lion, and Malabar gliding frog. Then we have Himalayas. Himalayas are spread, across three states. Like we have Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. And these Himalayas are home to a variety of wildlife. As I already told you, hangul that's present in Himalayan region is endemic to this place, to this region, and you cannot find hangul anywhere else in the world. Likewise, there are many different endemic species that you find in Himalayas. Then we have Indo-Burma region, or northeast India. Indo-Burma region is home to nearly 163 endangered species. That includes one-horned rhinoceros and wild Asian water buffalo. This Indo-Burma region, or northeast India, is quite rich in biodiversity. Sundaland, or the Nicobar group of islands. This is one of the biologically richest hotspots of the world, all right, which comprises of 25,000 species of plants, of which 15,000 are endemic to this place. That means 15,000 plants are found only in this place. Likewise, you will find whales, dolphins, turtles, etc. in this region, and these islands, have some rich marine ecosystems like mangroves, coral reefs, which are home to a variety of biodiversity. These biodiversity hotspots are important because these habitats are highly susceptible to any change, or highly sensitive to global change, and the plants or species that you find in these hotspots are highly irreplaceable. You cannot replace those species. That's why these are important. These hotspots are of social cultural values, and these hotspots provide some crucial ecosystem services for humans, like provision of clean water, pollination, climate regulation. So this is the high time that we take steps, we take measures to conserve the biodiversity present in these hotspots before the time actually runs out. This is all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.